My name is Daniel Goldstein. I'm here with Raz, and today in this tutorial we're going to be looking at some basketball concepts like defending, passing, dribbling, as well as shooting. And on top of that, we're here to have fun and start your journey into being the next basketball player.
Hello, Daniel from the past. This is Daniel from the future. While editing, I noticed that there is one thing that I missed out on saying, so I might as well just point it out now. In this video, we're going to be looking at very basic dribbling skills, dribbling moves, and we're not going to be taking a look at things like the sham guard dribble, the behind the back dribble, the between the legs dribble. These are a little bit more advanced, but we are going to be taking a look at the more simple moves and moves that, if you perfect, are going to be very effective and very efficient for you to use in game. So I'm talking about the right hand dribble, the left hand dribble, and as well also the simple crossover, which you will learn is not so simple. But after all, these three are probably the ones that you want to start basketball with learning. And once you perfect these, you can move on to the harder types of dribbles. So once we learn all of these, you can start learning with other videos harder moves. And until then, let's get started with our easy moves.
Before we start with any dribbles, I would like to take a look at the offensive stance. Now, when you're dribbling the ball in offense, whether you're a point guard, shooting guard, or whatever it might be, it is very important to keep the offensive stance. The offensive stance helps you gain control of the ball, helps the ball, you keeping the ball away from defenders, and also it makes it really hard for defenders to steal the ball from you and to try and make you lose control. Although the offensive stance might take a while to perfect, it is very important for you to try and practice it over and over again. So let's get started with how it actually looks. Let's say I'm dribbling the ball with my right hand, right? So I'm only dribbling with my right hand. What I want to do is I want to bring my left arm and my left hip in a position where I'm not completely with my side to the basket, but I'm kind of slanted like that, and I'm dribbling the ball to the right of my body. With that, I am protecting the ball both with my hand, my hip, as well as the rest of my body, and it's making it really hard as I'm doing this for defenders to try and steal the ball from me. So I have everything between me. I have the whole court. I can look at the whole court, and it's very easy for me to protect the ball. And the same thing with my left hand. With my left hand dribble, you just protect the ball with your right arm, your right hip, and the rest of your body. You dribble hard with your left, and you're protecting yourself, and you can see the whole court. So just practice that, putting the ball on the side, dribbling it on the side with both hands, and protecting the ball. And then at the end, you'll perfect it. And now that we learned how to do the offensive stance, let's get right into the dribbles. Now that we took a look at the offensive stance, let's take a look at the right hand dribble. Most of us are righties, but of course there are lefties. So we will be taking a look at both sides of the ball, both the right hand dribble and left hand dribble. But we will start with the right hand dribble. In the right hand dribble, we want to get into our offensive posture that we just took a look at. And you want to not push the ball forward with your palm, right? You want to put the ball on your fingertips, and you want to flick the ball, right? Hard, but not too hard. You don't want the ball going over your shoulder. You want to keep it about this height. You want to get it just over your hip. You want to do strong as well as very controlled bounces. You don't want to do it super strong and you have no control over it, because then the defenders will get to it. You want to do it quite low to the hip as well as strong in your offensive posture. So just like this, you want to look over. We always want to look up, and we want to make sure nobody's putting us under danger. So just like this, and I will have now my friend Raz doing the same thing after I just taught the offensive posture as well as the right hand dribble. So get into your offensive posture, guarding the ball with your left hand as well as your left leg, and dribble the ball just on the side, looking up and protecting the ball. Exactly. My good friend John, he's a left-handed basketball player, very talented, and the only difference between him and Raz is that Raz is a right-handed basketball player and he's a left-handed basketball player. So he's going to help me with anything that is left-handed, just so he can show you really how to perfect your moves. So now we will take a look at the same offensive stance, this time guarding the ball with your right part of the body, but dribbling the ball hard but controlled with your left hand. So John, do you want to show us how to do it? It's nice and easy. So as you can see, he's looking up, he's looking if there's any danger, he can stop now. He's looking if there's any danger. He's putting his arm out to defend the ball. He has his right knee guarding the ball as well, and he's dribbling just on the side of his body, just as he should, preventing any danger from coming. So now that we took a look at the right and left hand dribble, let's take a look at the simple crossover. Look at both the right hand dribble and the left hand dribble. Let's take a look at the simple crossover. Although I am saying it is a simple crossover, that is only because there's other types of crossovers we can learn, but it's really not that simple. Of course, the right hand dribble and the left hand dribble needs to be perfected first before trying to do this move, but it is going to be a very effective move for you guys to do and try at home if you got the hang of the right and left hand dribble. So basically the whole concept of the simple crossover is that you want to start dribbling with your right or with your left, whatever you're most comfortable with. Bounce the ball right in the middle of both of your legs and finish with your other hand. So it's going to look something like this. You're going to take the ball, dribble, boom, 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 just like that. You're looking up, you're making sure no one is challenging you, and just like that, using the space between your legs to get the ball from one side to the other. So, Raj, can you please demonstrate for us? Now looking up, you gotta look up, just like that. And now, if you get the hang of it, you need a lot of practice to start perfecting it truly. You wanna start doing it faster, lower, like that. And after a lot of time practicing, you can do it really quickly, really controlled, and just in a really effective way. So now that we took a look at some of the dribbling moves you probably want to perfect, let's take a look at some of the shooting drills and the form that you really want to focus on in order to become a good shooter. But remember, shooting isn't everything in basketball. You think you can do some things well and not shoot well, that is completely fine because shooting can always be improved. But let's take a look at some of the shooting tips that we have and my basketball coach has, as well as the correct shooting from most coaches would advise you. Now let's take a look at shooting as a concept in basketball. Obviously, shooting is very important in basketball, but it's not everything because there's some great players in the NBA who truly can't really shoot, but they're still in the NBA, which says a lot about them. Take Andre Robertson as an example, incredible defender, playmaker, and he's just great with the ball in his hands. However, he's not a really good shooter, you can see by his percentages. But obviously shooting has many faces. A lot of people, such as Rick Barry, shot free throws with an underhand flow. Stephen Curry has an incredible shot, incredibly beautiful, as well as Klay Thompson. They like to have a very fundamentally sound shot. But there's also a lot of players like Lonzo Ball who have an alright and effective shot, but again, it is completely unlike whatever any coach would teach you. So Lonzo Ball might shoot like this. Most coaches would teach you the following form that I'm going to be teaching you. I have my friend John here back. He's once again a left-handed person, so I'm going to show you both how people shoot with the right hand. I'm a right-handed person, so I'll show you how I shoot. He's a left-handed person. We both have very different forms, and both of them are as effective. So if you get comfortable with a shot, you practice it a lot, and even if you don't think that's how coaches will teach you, as long as you're comfortable with it, as long as you're good with it, keep it, and maybe, who knows, you'll become the next best shooter. We're first going to take a look at my shot, my right-handed shot, which is the shot that a lot of coaches mostly teach. Obviously in game my shot can vary, but I'm going to teach you the shot that my good coaches always used to teach me, some of the basic tips and things you just want to look out for when shooting. So I'm going to be going like this, just so you can see both my hand and the ball. And the first thing you want to always do is to have the ball placed on your fingers, but on your fingertips. You don't want to have the ball on your palm. You want to have a little bit of space between the ball and the palm, because when you shoot, you don't want to be pushing the ball, right? You want to have the ball and flick it so there is a nice spin on the ball. As coaches always say, the more spin on the ball, the nicer the shot looks, and most probably the more effective it is as well. Another thing you want to do, I'm going to take a few steps back so you can see again the whole body. You want to have your legs, one leg is just a little bit in front of the other, You want to bring the ball like that. You don't want to shoot from your chest. You want to shoot about from your eye area, something like that. And you want to have your left hand or your right hand, whatever your non-dominant hand is, supporting the shot. So you don't want to have it affecting your shot. You want to have it there just for support until you release the ball. When you release the ball, you want you to have your non-dominant hand not touching or affecting the ball whatsoever. Remember, this is very important because in games, you want to have your right hand or left hand, whatever your dominant hand is, targeting the basket, throwing the ball up, and all of that. So you really don't want to have your dominant hand affecting the shot. The power also comes from your body. You don't want to have yourself pushing the ball, like I said before. This is a very common mistake people do, and it's just not correct. So if you see that your shot has no spin whatsoever, that is probably something you're doing wrong. You're pushing the ball rather than flicking the ball up. And lastly, what you want to do is that when you put the ball up, you want to have it covering one of your eyes. If you're a right-handed player, you most probably want to have it covering just a little bit of your right eye, while still targeting the basket with your other eye. So you bring the ball up, you have the other eye targeting the ball, and you flick it up. And whatever works for you. If you have another way that you think is better for shooting, these are just some of the basic rules you probably want to perfect, probably want to follow in order to become a really good shooter. If you have another way that is comfortable for you, go ahead, because now we will take a look at how John does his left-handed shot that is quite drastically different from me, but still very, very effective. I would now ask my friend John to show us his shooting form. Now, bear in mind that his shooting form, once again, is completely different than mine, and that is completely fine, because now we will be analyzing both mine and his positions. And we're going to show you how both of them could be very effective, and it's all about a matter of what feels comfortable to you. So John, could you please get into your initial shooting position? That is before he shoots, when he gets ready to shoot. As you can see, he has one foot, again, more in front than the other. Again, that is mainly for balance, to get power, and just to have a nice form and nice smooth looking shot. When he goes down, you see he bends his knees once again to get power. That is something both right-handed shooters and left-handed shooters have to do, because remember, the power comes from your legs, and he just keeps a lot of focus. He doesn't look around, he doesn't do anything silly, he keeps focus. Now, could you please get into your shooting motion position? That is how he looks before he gets the ball, before he releases the ball. As you can see, unlike my shot, my friend John here doesn't bring the ball to his eye. He has both eyes uncovered, but he brings the ball just slightly next to his head. Now, while most coaches will tell you this is not that good, because, well, he can't really see where the ball is as well as the basket. For John, he already got really used to this shot, so he always knows when he has to release the ball, where he has to release the ball, and it's always just a matter of practice. So as long as he can keep practicing that same shot, that same routine with that shot, if he's comfortable with it, which he is a really good shooter, then once again, it's all about practice, 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 and whatever shot you're most comfortable with, that is the shot that you can do. And now let's take a look at some of my shots and his shots and see how both of them can be equally effective.